Okay. I see the counter is running. I see the green circle with the word excellent, which generally implies the stream is working. Both of the chat windows have loaded, and I show Twitch is running. I'm sure I'm going to email momentarily. I did, but for once, I remembered to silence my phone before I started the stream so it didn't blare into the mic, because I'm trying to get slightly better at my process for doing this. All right, let me just post. I have my posts preloaded. Whoa, I thought I deleted all these. Oh, it doesn't matter. Let's see here. Post that. Post that. Thank you. I'm just saying hello to my dog. Post that. Let's go here and post this. And I think I have one more place to post, which is today's. Oh, yeah. Really? Wow, I must have hit enter right when I went to there. Okay, perfect. All right, let me quit out of this. Okay, let me post this onto the socials. So give me a second. This will be very quick. But I'm getting things moving where they need to be as far as trying to get this thing up and... Whoa. Why do I not show it in there? Is this not updating or what? Did I... Whoa. That's... Huh. Hey, whatever. Well, paste it. Pick it up. Yeah, no, that's right. Okay. That's really interesting. I wonder why it didn't post in that one spot. Fascinating. Hold on, I'm just checking to make sure it looked like it had posted everywhere. I just want to make sure. Yeah, it did. Okay. No, it was just in the one spot. Okay, that's fine. It just didn't post in one, so it's a good thing I went there because I wouldn't have noticed that. All right, let's put this on here. Chat rate 1. Does that mean that somebody said something and I'm not seeing it? I don't know what that chat rate 1 means. I really don't. I'm still mystified by a lot of these little meters and everything. Because they don't seem to correlate to something that is logical and easy to understand. That's fine. Add link card and hit post to Reno. I'm really glad that I have this one page for it now, though. That was a smart move. One page to put things on. One page to rule them all. Okay, all I have to do now... Okay, I got it. Yes, I understand. Can I switch over to here, please? All right, I'll give this... Where are we at? We're at 2 minutes and 53... About 3 minutes. So I'm going to give this another couple minutes. Oh, boy. That's hysterical. Sorry, Suede. Oh, God. Okay. So we're good there. And we're good everywhere else. And I think we are. All right, like I said, I'm going to give this another minute. Just in case anybody shows up. And if not, that's perfectly fine. I like to give people the time. Because I know these things go out. Everybody can just race through a computer and suddenly start the stuff up. So, all right, let me move my keyboard while I'm thinking about it. Move that over here. And we'll move this little guy out of the way. Keyboard right. As big as this desk is, it's amazing how you still end up running out of room for things. It really is. It is almost some kind of joke how that works. Okay. Let's get my iPad in place. And sorry, my chair has a little squeak to it now, which is aggravating, but you know, there are worse things in life. Okay, let's get going here. So let's start a little thing here. Oh, it just occurred to me that I probably need to make sure I have the reflector running. It is, oh wow, just in time. Just in time. There it is. Okay. So, I had done a stream yesterday, if you're watching this live, which doesn't appear anybody is at the moment, but if you had been, it does shrink this window too. It's very odd why it does that. I had been working on this image yesterday, well, I mean, either way, if you're watching this later, then this will be what you see as working on for the previous stream. So it works. It still fits. It still all works out. So yes, this was what I was working on the previous stream, and we're going to keep going on that. Let me get a quick sip of water. There we are. Okay. Probably going to be a little bit on the shorter side for the stream tonight. Maybe like 45 minutes instead of an hour. Just because I have a couple things to do. But let's jump in. Oh, take the Apple Pencil off the charging base here, because that's not really going to do anything. All right, so what we need now is, let me pull up a browser on my computer. You won't see this, but I do. Just kind of, let me just see. I want to look at different examples of, looking for some interesting zombie color. Like no, I don't think I've done a yellow skin for a zombie before. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've done like a yellow, even like a light yellow-green skin. Yeah, I don't think I have. There wasn't a zombie that had yellow skin, but I just happened to see the color yellow, and let's try that out. Let's take a yellow, like something like this. Let's just see what it looks like. Why not? I mean, we're just playing around here. This is nothing permanent. If I don't like it, I can always get rid of it. But let's just, yeah, I don't think I've done this as a color on zombie skin before. I really don't. I'm pretty sure I've done purple, green, kind of a, I don't know what you'd describe it as, kind of a, well, I could show you. Where is that? Or wait, do I have that one on here? No, you can see some of the other ones. Like there's the green, there's that, the last, the pager's kind of that blue. Gray, I've done gray. The one I was thinking of isn't on here, but it was kind of a minimally saturated red is the best way to put it. Almost like a burnt umber. Is that what that color was? I actually can't remember what burnt umber's color actually is. I know the term, but I don't actually know if it was a burnt umber or if I'm just kind of making that up. It doesn't matter. In any event, I don't think I'm very sure. I'm very sure I haven't done a yellow before. Yellow's not really a color. Oh, I just noticed a little missing spot here. Yellow's not really a color I often go to. Not because I don't like, well, it's not that I don't like yellow. I just don't. I love these types of phrases. I've been saying things like this a lot lately. And I think part of it is just because it mentally amuses me. It's not that I don't like yellow. It's just that I don't really like yellow. That doesn't mean the same thing, even though it sounds like the same thing. I've been doing that lately where I'm just saying, it's not, I was saying something about trust, about trusting something. And I said, it's not that I distrust whatever it was, it's just that I don't trust it. Those are two different things. They are two different things. And to say, it's not that I don't like yellow, I just don't like yellow. Those are two different things, even though they sound like the same thing. That type of little wordplay amuses me lately. It's been on my mind. Mostly because I've been using phrases like that. And so it's been kind of like, oh yeah, I don't do that normally. I don't get to play around with language that way very often. I'm not the type who can just do that. So it's been fun to do it. Yeah, I think I don't know if it'll be this exact yellow, but it's a different color. It's a different look. Yeah, I'll have to modify this yellow. I think this is a little bit too bright of a yellow. It doesn't really suggest a zombie necessarily as it's currently shown here. This feels more like a monster skin color than a zombie skin color. Even though the yellow, I think a yellow can work, just not this particular yellow as I'm using it. I think I'll have to modify it a bit. But I think yellow is a good idea for the color because, like I said, I don't use yellow very much unless it's something that specifically calls for yellow, like the sun. Something like that. Well, yeah, then I'll use yellow if I'm doing a very simple image of the sun or sunlight. Well, yeah, then yellow, or I don't know what else is something that's specifically yellow. Egg yolk, I guess. Egg yolk would be another thing. But otherwise, I don't use yellow a lot. It's not a go-to color for me. So, checking. Okay, nothing in the chats. Just making sure. Just making sure. Because the chat doesn't. Since I'm looking down at the iPad, I just want to make sure I wasn't ignoring anything. Doesn't appear I am, so that's good. Let's jump back to that paintbrush. There are going to be more detail lines on just doing the colors now, just to kind of get some, I guess, additional visuals in my head about what's going on. you know, because even broad stroke colors are helpful for this, because then I could kind of think about shading and what I want to do where. But yeah, I think, like I said, I don't think this is going to be the ultimate color. I think this is too bold a yellow for dead skin. Yeah, like I said, this currently doesn't say zombie to me. This says more like, I don't know, slime monster maybe, but something that definitely is alive as opposed to undead. But yellow is definitely a color you associate with disease and oh, where is that coming from? Oh, that's from this one layer of. Wait, is that not a masking layer? No, it's not. All right, well, we're gonna take that out. I think that was when I wasn't using a mask for something. Must be. Oh, I saw that. I'll get that back. Don't worry. That's an easy one. All right, so wait a minute. Okay, so it was just that. Yeah, it was just that area. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Oh, well, it came back, but now it's obscured everything else. Let me jump back to here. There we are. Yeah, so, whoa, where'd that little black line come from? Where did you come from, little guy? Ah, well, it's a good thing I have those all in separate layers. That's why I do that, because inevitably that happens. Whoops. I almost guaranteed to make that type of mistake. So it's very, very important, at least for me, to keep my detail lines that might, if they're going to intersect, they have to be on different layers. And that way, if I make a mistake like that, it's extremely easy to correct. Whereas if those were on the same layer, oh, I mean, I could do it. I could do it. It would just take a lot longer and a lot more corrective work. Whereas having it in 2 layers or more, where the intersections aren't on the same layer, makes that so easy to clean up. So much easier to clean up. That's what I mean about, and I've talked about this before, but just to reiterate why for a long time I was not a fan of doing art digitally. And the main roadblocks to it were that there wasn't something like the iPad Pro. The original iPad, before there was the good app, before the Apple Pencil existed, I had tried some styluses with iPads and I didn't like them. I knew they weren't going to work. But that combined with the fact that when you realize, as an artist, depending on how you work. Now, some people, there are people who do not make a lot of mistakes in their art. They know what's in their head, they have a technique to get it out, and they have a way to do it where they minimize or avoid mistakes. I've seen people do it. It's pretty extraordinary when you run into somebody like that. I'm not like that. And while I still do miss the feel, there is this tactile feel to doing things in physical that, you know, they sell iPad, not cases, but skins or screen protectors that mimic what paper feels like. And it's pretty good. I know somebody who has one, and I tried it out. And it does feel like paper. It does. But you lose things doing that. The screen becomes, it can get marked up a lot of times. It doesn't last very long. It makes the screen not look correct for color, which isn't necessarily the biggest deal for me because I'm not doing a lot of precision color work. Believe me, I'm not. I am on the opposite end of precision when it comes to color work. But still, it does change the way your screen looks. There were just a number. Wow, went again. Okay, that's all right. Get it back. Fortunately, when it does that, this is very easy to get back. So, not a problem. There we are. Where was I when I was talking about? Oh, yeah. So there were a number of reasons why I knew that wasn't going to work out for me. But, and so, yeah, I do miss that about physical. But the thing I don't miss is in physical, at least in working the way I do, which is pencil to pen and ink. Okay, I can't see. Hold on. I can't see my... Why is my mouse not working? Hello, mouse. Wake up. Mouse. Whoa. My mouse is gone. Hold on a minute. Sorry. Give me a second. My mouse just completely lost its mind. Whoa. Uh-oh. Oh, I hope that's not a bad sign. Hold on. Let me... Oh, okay. Okay. Now we're back. We're back. Everything's still running? Yes, everything's still running. Okay, good, good. And my mouse came back. All right. Whatever. I don't know what that was, but it figured itself out. Oh, it just said error. Error. YouTube is not responding. Uh-oh. Hold on. It's not responding. Well, that's a new one. Hold on, I'm waiting. It still shows that I'm going, though. Twitch shows that it's still not running. But it's saying YouTube is not responding. Let me see what happens here really quick. Oh, well, no, according to this, it's still working. Which is odd. Oh, there we go. No, it's still going. Okay. All right, whatever. Okay, perfect. All right, well, no, we're fine. I don't know what that was. So whatever this error is, it's apparently not correct because it's showing that it's working. Okay. In any event, we're going to keep going here. Okay. So once the Apple Pencil came out, and the Apple Pencil, I haven't tried any other alternative stylus options for the iPad since the Apple Pencil came out, because when that came out, there was simply nothing that was equal to it. It was so well crafted for an artistic use. I can't speak to anything else. I really don't use the Apple Pencil for anything other than artwork. I mean, outside of occasionally I'll use it to actually, tap a link or whatever, but I don't really use it for anything else. And it's great for that. The art side of it, the Apple Pencil is great. Now, there may be better stylus options available at this point, because I've been using the Apple Pencil for so long now that I haven't even considered an alternative to it. So I imagine there could be a stylus that replicates that pencil on paper, pen on paper feel that is not made by Apple, but I don't have any problems with the Apple Pencil, so I don't need to try anything else. It's one of those kind of scenarios where until the Apple Pencil lets me down, I have no reason to leave it. It does the job I need it to do. And so one of the things that really has solidified me working on the iPad almost exclusively for my artwork is the fact that I can have things so easily layered, that it's so simple to fix mistakes, and that in almost no case is a mistake going to destroy the artwork. It's very rare where there's an error made that can't be recovered from. And even serious mistakes can pretty easily be recovered from now, because I can, a lot of times I'll just duplicate an artwork in the background so that I have an old copy of it. That way I can recover it pretty easily. But the recovery mechanism on an iPad is just, there's no... I'm sure there's a way to do it in traditional media. You could have, I guess, like a carbon underneath the paper as you're working in case something happens, that you would have a traceable copy, but you'd have to do it all again. I mean, you would lose so much time in that. Whereas with this, the same amount of recovery is so much simpler, and is so little time in comparison that it isn't a comparison. And so that's, I was talking tomorrow, if you're watching this live, tomorrow. Otherwise, it would be, depending on when you watch this, it would be back on April 5th of 2024 in the show that came out on that Friday, or will come out on that Friday if you're currently listening. Boy, I love temporal stuff like that. Either the one that's going to come out in the future or the one that's from the past, where Aunt Pruitt was the guest host for that episode. There was a point in it, if you listen to it, where I talk about the fact that it bothers me that there is no competitor to the iPad. That essentially, I can't think of another tablet that currently, as of that recording anyway, and as of this particular stream anyway, there is nothing that is equal to the iPad. There is no Android alternative. There is nothing that is equal to this thing. And bear with me one second here. And that's bad. That's quite simply is not a good thing. So I don't like that. I think that's bad, because it essentially has me locked in to this thing. And I don't think that's an ideal situation. I really don't. Okay, that's what I thought. I was just checking something. Because I still see this little weird error on here, but I just opened up the YouTube stream and it's fine. So I don't know what that error means. I also don't believe it because I just looked at the stream. It's fine. So as far as I can tell, this is still going. I'm going to treat it like it's still going. But yeah, I don't like the fact that there is no, that if for some reason, and I don't know what that reason would be, but let's say that, I don't know, Procreate and Apple start fighting tomorrow, and now I can't use Procreate on the iPad. I don't have anywhere else to go with it. I can't go to an Android tablet and run Procreate. I can't go to an Android tablet and be confident that I can be able to do exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm not saying that there isn't some tablet. I mean, there's the, I think Google's still making their Pixel Slate or tablet or whatever. And there's other ones. I mean, they do exist. I'm not saying there aren't Android tablets, but are any of them even close to the capabilities of this thing? I don't think so. I've not seen a review of one that suggested that anybody is anywhere near the iPad, which, and the thing that actually does kind of concern me, to just be honest about it, is I know iPad sales are not, they're not one of Apple's big growth areas. That's not to say I think they're going to cancel the iPad, but if they don't see a lot of people on a platform, they're not going to do a lot with it. They're not going to devote the resources they would if everybody was flocking to it. It's just, that's a reality of business. I understand that, and I know that's the case, and that's why I don't like the fact that I am, in many ways, locked into this thing. Could I go back to pen and paper? Sure I could. Yeah, absolutely could. I wouldn't be able to stream with it. I don't have a setup for that. I wouldn't be able to work as fast. I wouldn't be able to work on as many things. If I made a critical error, I wouldn't be able to recover as easily. There's any number of reasons why that would be a step back. Doesn't mean I couldn't do it. That what I'm doing here is a skill that translates fine to a non-iPad. It does not have to be an iPad. I forgot this should not be filled in. This is a little just exposed section here. So it's not that I couldn't go back to traditional media. I could, but it would feel like a step back to me. It would, just being honest about it. And that's why I don't like the fact that I only have the iPad. That I don't know of something else that could take the place of this thing. I don't need it. I don't need there to be anything today, but I don't like the fact that there isn't. I think that's a bad situation for anybody, is to only have one option. Because even if that option today is fantastic, there's no guarantee it will be tomorrow. And it's not a great situation to have in place. It just is not. Now, yeah, that skin tone, maybe it's the saturation. Ooh, okay, that looks a little more sickly. Let's just play around with the tones here. Well, that just looks like skin tone. So I think I have to leave it at that. And let's see. Okay. Yeah, that's not bad. Let's put it at 45% on that. I'd like that better. I mean, it's shading a bit green to me, but not a green I've used before, so I'm okay with it. Let's get a gray going here for the mini disc metal flaps, just to fill that in, so we have the metal there. And I don't necessarily know that these are going to be the final colors. I'm just basically putting placeholder stuff in there, just to kind of get a sense of what it's going to look like, just so you can... Oh, I missed some skin. Hold on, let me grab that. There we are. Let's just get that filled in. Whoop. And let's get this, because I think this will... Oh, no, it does go behind. I still don't like doing that. I like staying inside the lines, in case I need to alter something later. There have been cases where I've been like, oh, I don't care, you can't see it. I can just blot it all over the place in the background, and it bit me. So I don't want to do that again. I'd rather stick with, keeping it within the lines more or less. Oops, hold on. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Is that supposed to be like that? That doesn't look right to me. Hold on, I'm looking at something. Why does that not look right to me? Let me take a look at these lines. Yeah, I didn't think so. That shouldn't look like that. Hold on. Something's overlapping. Somewhere something's overlapping. Ah, the bones. Okay. That's what it is. This should not be here. Got it. I knew that didn't look right. It was sticking out too much to me. So, okay. Here we go. All right. Yeah. But that is one thing is I really would like somebody, even if it's not Android, I really don't care who. I really would like to see somebody emerge as a really viable competitor to the iPad. I don't like Apple having complete control of any particular device segment. And this is the only one. Yeah, this is the only one I can think of that's like this. I know somebody will say the Vision Pro for VR. I don't care about that. I don't think they've got that as locked in as people think they do. Okay, so let's see. I can't turn the background off yet, or that happens. So for the bone color is pretty easy. Bone is just kind of like that. Just put that underneath here. Let's get the bone filled in a little bit. There we go, and that's under all the other colors. So this is pretty simple. That's probably not the final color either, but I'll put it in for now. Okay, so that's okay. I don't mind that. I didn't like that the bone line was like that, but I don't know why I don't mind that, or why I would mind that, I should say. It's perfectly fine. So let's do this. Get this filled in here. So our bone, a little too much. I thought I had gone outside for that. It's easy not to see where the line... I mean, when everything's white, you can't really tell where the borders are. It's a little tougher. One of the reasons to do the color now is just to get the broad colors in there so I can see them. There we go. There we go. Come around here. Yeah, so, yes, as far as the live perspective, the new show episode will be out tomorrow, where Aunt Pruitt was very kindly willing to step in as a guest host. Had a great time, as I knew I would. Partially, I think, because Aunt finds me to be such a strange individual, which I am. So I think to some degree there's a level of amusement on his part to be like, what is going on with this guy? Not that I think I can sufficiently explain it, but that's what it is. All right, bones. Let's see where the bone lines are. So, whoa. That line makes no sense. This line should not be here. I can tell you that just looking at it. That should not have been there. All right. So I need to put some color. Boop. Oh, whoa. Bumped right into that. Good thing that didn't fall, or my dog would have been terrified. She would have jumped if my little wrist rest thing had fallen on her. I know that without even thinking about it. Okay. Yeah, you would have been spooked. I know it. Don't act like you would. You're not that tough. You act tough when the mailman rings the doorbell. That's about it. Golden retrievers are not known to be guard dogs. Not really. They bark because they want to see somebody, not because they're guarding you. That's a little pro tip for anybody. Don't get me wrong. I don't know that I would ever have any other type of dog. I absolutely love Goldens. Love them. But I do not have any illusions that they are good guard dogs. If you want a guard dog, get a Doberman Pinscher or a German Shepherd. Those are guard dogs. Goldens will guard a plate full of food pretty well because they want to take it. Outside of that, not so much with the guarding. I'm going to open a browser window in the background here and just look at hand muscle coloring, which I should know offhand. Hand muscles. Take a quick look. Here we go. Yeah, it's kind of a reddish pink. That's what I thought. Man, people who do medical drawings, medical stuff, man, when they're good at it, they are good at it. It's really amazing. Okay. Oops, sorry, hiccup right there on the mic. Ooh, okay. All right, well, actually, I'll keep this image up because I need an idea of where to put these colors. So it's kind of not necessarily that, but sort of that, but a little duller. Yep, that's probably right there. Let's go ahead and put that under the bone coloring. Now, let's look at these hands. Get an idea where these muscles are. Well, they're pretty much... All right, so it'll be, all right, hold on, I gotta think about this. Where's my sketches? I have the subdermal sketches will tell me. Subdermal, well, okay, that's fine. Turn off the shadows, please. Yeah, okay, that didn't tell me anything. I'll just do it by eye. Let me look at this picture of a hand. Bear with me a second. Okay, so let's go in there, let's go in there. Okay, got it. All right, so we need some here, and we need some here. And this too, that, that's going, that's the white. Okay, nope, that's all accounted for. That's gonna be white. That comes down like this. That's this. What is that on the outside? Okay, so that. Okay. And then basically all of that. So I can just do that. And then as far as, no, this is all, these will have different, I'll do different shading on them, but basically at this point, once you're getting down into the arm, let's see, arm muscles. Oh yeah, it's all the same. So basically all of this is going to be this color with some variance in shading and that type of thing, but basically it's all the same. Or wait. Yes, this is all going to be like that. Okay. And that would mean this too. All right, got it. I thought so. Just want to check. So let's go ahead and start getting this shaded in. This color's fine. This will work. Get that going up here. Just make sure I'm staying in the lines. Okay, there we go. Follow that there. Okay. Oop, all right. Keep that in there. This is all going to get colored in. I can do this the sloppy way for the center point. And then I'll fix it. And then I'll do the fine stuff in a second. But just getting the big broad blobs in place where I don't have to pay attention to the lines too much yet. But I will come in here and do finer detail on those. All right. What is that? Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. I know what that is. That is no problem. Oh, sorry. Let me jump back here. Anybody say anything? No. Okay. Okay. So we need this and all of that. I'll give you a little preview for next week because I hadn't watched it before the show for this week, but you can bet I'll be talking about Madame Web or Madam Web, whatever it's supposed to be, which I watched. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I generally do not talk badly about movies much anymore. And one of the ways that I do that is I tend to avoid watching newer films that I know, based on reviews and what people tell me, are not good. That is a nice way for me not to have to talk negatively about a movie, because I don't really like doing it anymore. I don't know that I ever liked doing it. I did it because I think for a while I was just kind of falling into the same pattern that many people fall into when it comes to film, where they just talk about, they're happy to just destroy a movie because why not? Whereas I really now try to, if I don't like a movie, I generally don't talk about it. I just avoid talking about it. I literally don't talk about it. Not that I don't mention something negative. I just don't talk about a movie if I don't have positive things to say. But for the second guest host show, Rojan from Project Archivist is going to be filling in. And he had said, oh, I saw Madame Web and we should Madam Web. I don't know which one it's supposed to be. I always say Madame, but I guess it could be Madam. In either case, in either version. So, I saw that. We got to talk about it. Okay. And I have to admit to somewhat of a curiosity about it, because, it was just so universally annihilated by people that I was kind of curious. And I wanted to see if there was anything redeeming about it, or, if a lot of the, because look, we all know that there is a bandwagon type effect with movies too, where if the right people say something is good or bad, people just jump on that, whether they actually believe it or not. That definitely happens. I have seen people who have done that very thing, and I'm not a big fan of it. And so when, part of it was, okay, everybody's saying this is so bad. Is it really this bad? Well, it is. Not that there isn't interesting aspects of it to talk about, and in a fascinating way, it's it's both worse than I thought it would be and not as bad as I thought it would be. But those statements apply to different aspects of the movie. It looks like they put some money into this thing for the most part, although there are some very shoddy CG scenes where my guess is, because from what I understand, this movie was being rewritten so often that I think the star, is her name Dakota Johnson, I think her name is? I believe I saw a statement from her that was something along the lines of, they changed this movie so many times that by the end of it, it wasn't the script that I had signed on for because they had made so many changes to it. That's pretty evident, I think, when you watch it, because it doesn't feel cohesive at all. It is almost impressively jumbled for a type of film that is operating within a formula that we've now seen for many years. The movie, I don't think they were intentionally, very important word in this context, I do not believe they were intentionally trying to break the sort of superhero formula. I think they did by accident. I think this is an accidental experimental superhero film because it doesn't make any sense that this thing is structured the way it is for what it's trying to be, which is an origin film. It's essentially, and I don't think this is a spoiler because they put some of this in the trailers, deceivingly so, which I won't get into this. There's some stuff in the trailer that you could likely get a lawsuit together on how deceiving that trailer is as far as what the movie is actually going to give you. You could probably bring a suit and say false advertising, and you might have a case. You might have a case on how that trailer sells you something that is absolutely not in this film. But in any event, it seemingly, or in a way that feels like it has to be on purpose, does not follow the model of the film that it's trying to be. And again, I think in movies you can usually sense when this is being done on purpose. It does not feel like this is being done on purpose. It feels like they stumbled into almost a critique of the standard superhero film formula, but I don't believe at all that that's what they were actually trying to do. I think that's just what it ended up being, which is worth talking about. I mean, it really is. And it's not just a flat out terrible movie. There was actually an interesting setup thing to do with this movie that I think could have worked in some way. I don't know that the character's so obscure. There's so many little things about the movie that I think would, just as it, even in its best version, would stop it from being a really popular film. Like, I just don't think that was ever in the cards for this thing. It's too strange in some of its decisions. One of them being making the main character so unlikable. It is astonishing how unlikable the main character is. It's really, again, where you almost think that this is on purpose, but I don't think it is. I think that the actress and maybe more people involved were just so tired and frustrated from the amount of changes being made that it bled through into, I don't know. I have no explanation for it. It is so bizarre. It's a really weird movie. when you look at it as a film, as a superhero origin film, which is what it is baffling that the directions this thing goes. I don't know how else to put it without spoiling stuff, and I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to say any more on it. But it is baffling. A lot to say, though. So there will be a lot to say about that. For, again, not this week's show, but it will be the following week's show. So now we're going to start putting in the little tendon lines, or whatever, muscle lines. Oh, that's supposed to be the bone. I just realized that. That's not supposed to be... This should not be red. Now I remember this. This is supposed to be the bone color. So let's go ahead and erase that out, because I just realized it from this line right here. This line did not make sense if it was not for the bone colors. This is supposed to be the exposed bone. I remember this. That's why there's that curve to it. I just saw it and just realized it. So let's go ahead and get that corrected really fast. I don't know why I said that Britishly. Fast. I don't know why my voice did that. I really don't. That was very strange. All right, let's get that bone color. Okay. All right, there we go. Well, okay, that's a little too thin of a thing for it. So let's get that bone color in here. So yeah, Madam, I keep saying Madame too. Madam Web is a weird flick. It is not a good movie. I will tell you that. It's not a good movie. But, having the, not certainty, but having a very strong feeling that it was not going to be good, because the only way that you can legitimately watch that movie right now is through digital rental for $20. A lot of times lately I've spent the $20 rental on movies and felt it was worth it. I was pretty sure it would not be. So I won't say anything specific just to avoid any possibility of, I don't think there would be anybody who would actually want to speak to me about it, but let's just say that there are non-American websites that you can go to stream movies like this, generally with a subtitle on it, because it's not American. But that's okay. The movie's still in English. It's just got subtitles, and I'm fine ignoring subtitles, especially when they are in a different language. And this is not a movie where the presence of subtitles is going to mar the visuals. It just is not. So that's how I watched it. I had a suspicion that if I had spent $20 on this, I would be not happy I had done so. And I think I made the right decision. So I watched it via based on... Well, no, actually, the subtitles, they might have been in Korean. I really don't know. That's what it looked like to me. It definitely, I'm pretty sure they were Korean. And that is where a lot of these types of sites are. The big ones are really Russian. Korean is a big one, where there's a lot of websites that are Korean websites that host movies illegally. I mean, there's no other word for it. And I believe this was a Korean site based on the subtitles that were being shown on the movie. It also was not in what would be called Ultra HD by any stretch of the imagination. I think because the copy that was uploaded to this site was probably a cam rip. Although, at this point, what they're using to copy these movies, it's pretty good quality. It wasn't, honestly, did I notice the lack of fidelity? I did not. Again, not a movie where the fidelity, I think, was a really priority feature of the film. And like I said, had I spent $20 to rent this thing, I would have been not happy about spending that money. So I'm usually pretty happy to do that. I've taken chances on movies and spent the rental and not felt that it was a bad idea. But I would have been a little annoyed if I had spent $20 on this thing, because not good. But as I said, there are interesting things to say about it, so I must give it that credit. I think we will have I think there'll be a lot to talk about. And fortunately, even though the picture quality was not necessarily fantastic, the audio was very clear. So I was able to capture clips of it. I didn't get many because, honestly, it doesn't deserve that many, but I got some that I thought were funny. And there was one very good particular line which I captured as an evergreen that I will probably use for the show soundboard, because it was just, number one, it was funny, but it was also kind of a great line, but just delivered so weirdly. I don't know how else to put it. It was just so bizarre. Like I said, I'm going to save my comments for the show. Well, you know what? I had said 45 minutes for the stream. We're right at 45 minutes. So I've got my basic colors in here, as you can see. So we have the basic colors laid in. They may not necessarily be permanently these colors, but this is a starting point. The only thing I don't like is the fingernails. I don't like that fingernail color. That doesn't, I was kind of thinking blue, but the problem is blue's going to bleed into that disc. So what I may do is something like this, where it's kind of a purplish color. Something like that, yeah, because blue's going to fade right into that. But temp colors, I like this yellow-green thing, whatever this is. It looks different. It looks sickly. It contrasts really well with the tendon colors. So, yeah, I think this is in a good place. It's in a good place. So on that note, let me switch back to here. And I think that is going to bring our stream to a close for tonight. And honestly, if I kept talking, I'd probably just do a complete I keep doing it. Madam Web review, and I'm going to save that for the show because I do think that there is a lot to say about it. But what I will say is a preview of what I'm going to say in that show. Do not spend $20 on this movie. Do not spend $20 on this movie. I don't care if even if you really wanted to see every single superhero movie that's ever made, do not spend $20 on this movie. It is not worth $20. It really isn't. And without spoiling anything, I don't even think you could call it a complete movie. And I think especially because the trailer is lying in a lot of ways. It's flat out lying about what the movie is. And that's another reason I would advise anybody, do not spend that money on this. It is not worth $20. I'm not going to say any more about it right now. I'll save those comments for the show that will be out a week from tomorrow, or in the case of you watching it in the future, April 12th. Friday, April 12th, 2024. That's the show where I will be talking about Madam. There, I remember to do it that time. Madam Web. So then you will hear everything I have to say. And Rojan, I'm sure, will have lots to say as well. Anyway, whether you're watching live or later, thank you for coming by the stream. And go experience some creativity, or be creative yourself, because it's good for your mind, your body, and your spirit. I think it's a worthwhile thing. Creativity in any form. Whatever that may take for you, you should do it. It's a worthy little exercise that benefits you in every way. So until the next stream, I still haven't figured out what my middle block for my ending thing is going to be, but I'll just say, until the next stream, placeholder text here until I figure it out, and take care. No, wait, I didn't do that right. So until the next stream, thank you for coming by. No, wait, until the next stream, thanks for coming by and hanging out. Insert placeholder text here, and take care.